Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unboxed. I'm so glad you're with us. All right, we're continuing our journey as we talk about emotional maturity, and we're going to talk about how leaders can evaluate their level of emotional maturity. We're going to continue to dive into this subject and to unbox how you can be the most emotionally mature person that is possible to lead your organization, to lead your family, to lead your life. Stick around, you don't want to miss it. I'm Dr. Robert Davis, family life educator and relationship coach, and welcome to Unboxed, a frank and straightforward conversation about relationships. We're going to talk about family, church, workplace, and all other types of relationships. Join me for the next few moments as we unbox the power and potential of relationships and help you to live your best life. Hey everyone, again, welcome. So do me a favor, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. Okay, let's dive into this thing. We talked about being an authentic leader. And by authentic, it really means emotionally mature, being the best you, living out the principles for your life, not basically being a puppet on the string that's determined by the organization that you work for, that the way you function is determined by the people you're interacting with, but that it's authentic. It is the real you in every circumstance and in every situation. And we found out that there are five attributes that determine a authentic or emotionally mature leader. Those five attributes are: number one, authentic leaders are goal-oriented. Authentic leaders are goal-oriented. Number two, authentic leaders are aware of others. That's right. Number three, authentic leaders are focused on self. In other words, this is what I'm responsible for. That's very important. This is what I'm responsible for, because a focus on self helps to prevent you from focusing on everybody else and what everybody else is and ain't doing. Number four, authentic leaders are self-differentiated. In other words, this is who I am. And number five, authentic leaders are principle-oriented. This is what I believe. And we're really going to look at number five starting next week. But I want us to finish this whole thing about this is who I am today. We're going to finish that up today. So what reveals a leader's authenticity or a leader's level of emotional maturity? And the answer to that is, and I'm going to unpack it a little bit more, to unbox it a little bit more today. The answer to that is, how much of our mental health and emotional functioning, or our mental energy, is determined by the relationship we are a part of. That's right. That's how you can tell. The less that your emotional health and your emotional functioning is determined by the relationship you're part of, the more emotionally mature you are. And that doesn't mean that you cut everybody loose, you don't bother with nobody, because that's really a sign of someone who's immature, that they are, excuse me, they are so overwhelmed by the relationships that they're in that they just can't even deal with it. They just gotta cut loose and go separate ways. No, but an emotionally mature person can be in a relationship, but the relationships don't dictate or guide who they are. They are who they are because that's who they are. And they live off of guided principles, considerate of others, but authentic and genuine to self. So let me ask this. How do I evaluate? And I'm going to give you 4 evaluation questions. How do I evaluate my level of emotional maturity? Here's 4 simple questions that helps you to evaluate your level of emotional maturity. You ready for it? Here we go. Number 1, how often do you spend time rehearsing or replaying in your mind when someone insulted, slighted, ignored, or hurt your feelings? That's right. How much time, when something like that happens, how much time do you spend replaying the incident in your mind? And you think about that. If you would kind of like to grade it, where an A is that you don't, it doesn't bother you at all. You get over it just like that. Or if it's an F, which means, man, that thing will stick with you for a week or two, or maybe even longer than that. You just can't shake it. When someone does something to you, it just gets to you. You see, the less mature a person is, the more they ruminate over perceived or real injuries. That's right. That's right. Number 2, how often, here's a question, second question I want you to ask. How often do you develop strong internal emotional feelings when someone you consider important in your life does something to offend you, such as to ignore you or to insult you or to get angry at you? How often do you develop strong, when someone that you consider important in your life does that, how often do you develop these strong emotional feelings inside of you? That thing really rouses you up on the inside, because mature people are able to focus on assessing what is unfolding in the relationship rather than focusing on the person and figuring out what the others did wrong or what's going on with the other person. And this leads us into number three. Number three, when there is a problem, and I'm doing this because you can always rewind and go back and listen to them again, okay? Number three, when there is a problem in the relationship, how much time do you spend assessing your role in the situation versus how much time do you spend assessing the other person's role or the other person's fault? I want you to think about that. When there's a problem in a relationship, if I spend the majority of my time thinking about what did I do, what role am I playing, what is my responsibility, how could I improve myself? That's an A. That's why I spend the majority. And F is, I really do think an awful lot about what the other person did wrong. And you can also think about when you talk to other people and you explain the situation, how much of it is they, those, them, that's the ones who are at the fault here. And here's question number 4. We're going to close out with this. So question number 4, how difficult is it for you to maintain appropriate emotional boundaries? All right, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. If either spouse is distressed, say if this is, one of your spouse is distressed, and the other takes it personally, or either shuts down and distances, or gets overly intrusive, gets all into the person. This is often done in the name of fixing the problem. It is an emotional reaction that is designed mostly to relieve the anxiety in the person doing the fixing. So how often when someone who you love they're having their emotional challenges, or they're upset or whatever it may be, whether it's with you or just in general, how much of the time do you feel, or do you think rather, that you need to help fix that? That's a very clear sign. So an A is I can listen, I can support, but I don't have to fix. And F is you come to me with a problem, I got to fix it. And let me tell you this much, my friend. I went in and you don't know these things when you first do it. You don't realize your challenges and limitations. But one of the things is that a lot of people who go into the helping profession, they go into the helping profession because they want to help people. They want to fix people, which is a sign of emotional immaturity. I told you, I'm the president of the Emotional Immature Leaders Club. And that's why I love what I do. And I love working with other leaders because, again, we're going on this journey together. I haven't figured it out. I haven't mastered it. So with other leaders in our support groups, in the one-to-one coaching that I'm able to do, I can go through and I can help because I'm living it myself. And one of the things that, I struggle with, that I fight, is giving the unsolicited advice, trying to fix people. When I see people in distress, especially people that I'm close to and that I love, one of the first things I want to do is figure out, how do I solve this problem? How do I help them out of this jam? And that's one of the urges that mature people are better able to deal with. They don't feel that they need to fix and solve people's problem. Mature people they look at the role that they're playing in the relationship and then the problem. Mature people spend most of their time assessing the situation rather than blaming the person. And mature people don't rehearse hurts and harms and allow that thing to ruminate in them. That's a mature person. And that's what we try to do here at UnBoxed, is to help people to gain the skills and the tools to actually be emotionally mature, to be able to focus on themselves and to build up their own level of excellence, to reach their life goals, to develop plans and strategies to accomplish the things that are important to them, to be their best self in family, to be their best self in their workplace, at church, or wherever it may be, to unbox the power and the potential of relationships, and to unbox the power and the potential of their leadership. And we want to continue to help you. So continue to tune in. Take care.
Seasoned with Grace, UnBoxed also provides healthy relationship training and leadership development for businesses, churches, and community organizations. For a free consultation to discuss your team's needs, please contact us at our website at swg.org. swg-unboxed.org. That's swg-unboxed.org.